Alright, this is Rick with BadMoonRising.com. I'm going to try doing a demonstration video on how to do a scout fire by myself using my webcam on my camera on my phone to make the video, and I got it attached to a piece of PVC pipe with some shock cord. Hopefully you can see the little setup here. I got a small fire area cleaned out of the snow. Little stove I made out of a 28-ounce tomato sauce can that fits perfectly over a water bottle, and I can rest my water bottle cup right on top of it if I can get it level. What you need here is something to sit on. Hopefully you can see it. I got a ice fishing cushion to insulate myself from the cold ground, and right now I'm wearing my jacket, a couple jackets, hat. I'm going to take all that off and get a fire going and show you how to wrap yourself up with a poncho for winter survival in case you're stranded or lost out in the woods. Hoping this works. I learned this technique from Kevin Reeves from On Point Tactical at a winter survival class. Over here to my right, I got a small pile of just dead small sticks I found laying around. I'm going to set them inside the can. Everybody's favorite fire starting technique: petroleum jelly, cotton balls. And I'm going to cheat and use a Bic lighter instead of trying to do some primitive technique out in this single digits. Alright, cotton ball's lit. Now I'm just going to keep adding small sticks until I get a little fire going. All you need is a bunch of dead falls you can find laying around, or low dead branches on trees. And my lucky day, fire went out. A few more cotton balls going. Actually, I don't think it went out. I still see a little smoke coming out of it. But just to speed up this process. If you can see this, the end of the surgical tubing, there's a stainless steel end for blowing on the fire. Because once you're wrapped up, you're kind of restricted on your airflow. But, you know, all of us can blow a little bit on our fire. My children loved using that when we're out camping. You know, getting the fire built up. Doesn't take long to get this little fire going, and in a survival situation you don't want to waste a bunch of time and energy if you're freezing gathering up firewood for a big fire. This wood being just wood I found laying on top of the snow, it's a little damp, in some cases frozen. That's why it's taking a while to get going. Hopefully you can see the fire going. Camera back on. Now once you get your fire going, I'm going to use my reversible poncho that's reversible from white to multicam. And what this does is it keeps the heat inside from the fire. Keeps the heat inside. A little smoky, but the camera needs to be tilted. But yeah, I'm perfectly warm right now, and it's probably single digits out here. See, it's a little smoky. Ideally, you'd want to use completely dry deadfall, but if you don't mind a little smoke in your face and you're freezing, this will keep you from freezing. I'm out here in just a light shirt and a watch cap and a pair of sweatpants, and I'm comfortably warm right now, other than the smoke in my face. And it'd be a little difficult to see. Somebody might notice the smoke, but with the white poncho, other than my tracks, I'd be hard to see out in the woods. And with this little stove pot stand, I'll wait for the smoke to dissipate. I can heat up water for a simple meal. Or if I needed drinking water, I can boil water in the cup from snow. It would take a while, but it would be dying of dehydration. Yeah, poor choice of wood, but and now the wood's starting to dry out. A lot less smoke. If you can find real dead dry wood, I wouldn't have the smoke issue. Eyes are watering from smoke in my face. But depending on the length of your tubing, you might want to wrap it around your leg. This one's short enough where I don't need to do that, so it stays away from the fire and less cluttered. But in a real survival situation, if you had a stockpile of wood, I could spend the whole night here, warm and comfortable. As you can see, just a little deadfall that I found laying around, small pencil-sized sticks, maybe a little larger. And it's more than enough. More than enough to keep you from freezing to death. And with snow and the little pot stand, I could just be sitting here, melting the water, wait for it to boil, set it in the snow, and rehydrate. So it's got real simple technique, uses very little equipment. And you don't need to have the pot stand. That's just something I added to this to make it a little more functional, a little more versatile. So you can, like I said, cook a simple meal, boil water for drinking or making tea, coffee, whatever, hot chocolate. See if I can give you a view of the fire. And that's pretty much it. Ground's not exactly level, so the pot doesn't stay on level. Get cold, just wrap up, warm right up. I've heard you can dry your, if you get wet, this will dry you out as well. I haven't tried that yet, but right now, like I said, I'm comfortable. A little bit of smoke in my face. With the watch cap, I don't need to worry about my head getting cold. So it warms up your core with the femoral artery being a main artery in your leg, being close to the fire. That heats that up and warms the rest of your body. Feet stay a little, they're not wrapped up with me, but with the rest of you warm, your feet are naturally going to be warm as well. And like I said, the white, it'd be hard to see if I was out in the forest, but this is just in my backyard. And you can find sticks anywhere from a labor standpoint. In a real situation, you don't want to be spending hours getting firewood for a bonfire, but just grabbing kindling, which you would use to start a fire, take you 15-20 minutes to grab a stockpile that'd last a few hours. And every so often, fire's dying down. Now, I'm not sure how long we've been running, but as you fire with this little pot stand, I cut the top off, cut a hole in the top, but still left enough of a lip to rest the canteen, or the, water bottle stainless cup on top. And you can pull that off, feed sticks into your fire. You don't want to let it get down too far. It takes a little bit more effort to get it back up, but I've got flames in there, and I can just keep adding little, well, you can probably see the sticks, just little twigs. With the high winds, we'll just lay it on top of the snow, blowing off just a handful of trees around here, so you don't have to go digging out big logs for a big fire. Pretty much it. And if you start getting overheated, just unwrap so you don't start sweating and get wet. But when you first learned this, we were in, I think, probably single digits, might have been below zero. I know the 2 nights in that class I took was, first night was 20 below and the second night was 30 below. And during the day, maybe we hit high single digits, maybe 10 degrees. And you can, in a real situation, you can use this to warm up while you go work on a shelter or gather other supplies. Or if you're in an escape and evasion, get more warm. Now you can stop, boil some water for drinking or in a simple meal. You don't have to unpack a lot of stuff. And poncho, water bottle, stainless cup, surgical tubing, you can fit all that. You can fit all that in a cargo pocket if you're wearing BDUs, or wrap the poncho up, put a cord on it, secure it to your belt. All you need is a way to start a fire and something to sit on. You could use a dry log if you can find one, or a rock, but you just want to keep yourself off the cold ground, so the cold ground doesn't suck the heat out of you. But right now, I don't have a thermometer in here, but definitely warmer in my house, and that's in the 60s. So, got any questions, comments? Feel free to post them. Thanks a lot.